The opinions expressed in this show are the views of the host and not necessarily that of WTRW, 94.3 The Talker, or the Bold Gold Media Group.
The following presentation is paid for by Century 21 Jack Ruddy Real Estate, who is solely responsible for its content. Portions transcribed.
All Century 21 real estate offices are independently owned and operated.
Good morning and welcome to the Real Estate Roundtable with Century 21 Jack Ruddy Real Estate on 94.3 FM The Talker. I'm Jackie Ruddy, broker, and with my husband, fellow realtor, Pat Devaney. How are you today?
I'm doing well. How are you?
I'm doing much better than last week. Thank you. I'm doing
good.
Very good.
Okay.
No
Nobody
one
was behind
beeping
you?
it. No,
Okay.
no. Making me a nervous wreck.
That was traumatizing.
Yes, it was. We have with us again this week Cadden Brothers. Pat Cadden Jr., co-owner with his father Patrick, and Corey Boynton, manager of junk removal. Good morning.
Good morning. How are you today?
Good morning.
I'm doing well, thanks. How are you? Are you okay?
We're good.
All right, we're going to get you on this week. You're going to be talking a lot.
Uh-oh.
All right, we're here every Saturday at 11 a.m., Sunday at 11:30 a.m., where we talk real estate. We have a full-time real estate office with many exceptional realtors that have been guiding, assisting, and advising clients in real estate matters for over 50 years.
During the week, feel free to email us with any questions you have at questions@jruddy.com. That's questions@jruddy.com. Or you can give us a call at 570-344-6724. And when you go to jruddy.com, click on the webcam tab and get a live view of Dunmore Corners and see what's going on at the corners 24/7.
Look us up on social media, view our listings, search the MLS listings, and listen to archive radio shows by going to mobile-friendly jruddy.com. That's JRUDDY.com, where we also have all the podcast apps that we feature this radio show on. Okay, gentlemen, last week we talked about the moving services, Cadden Brothers Moving, and this week I'd like to start off about talking about the junk removal division that you have, that Corey Boynton is managing these days, that division, and it's something that is a recent venture for you. You've taken this on because you noticed there is a need for it.
Yeah, we've had several customers in the past several years just asking for how do we get rid of this, and Corey and I sparked a conversation, and we said, let's try it.
Yeah.
So it's been going pretty good.
It makes so much sense because when people move, they have to get rid of things, and they don't necessarily know what to get rid of. So this is where you come in, Corey, right?
Absolutely. So this time of year, especially holidays, New Year's, people are always trying to get off to a clean slate. So we've been putting some promotions out there to go out, do some estimates for some people with the holidays. People have these new Christmas presents, these big Barbie dream houses that take up a whole living room. So people are clearing out some spaces for the big presents that Santa brought for the kids.
Okay. So let's clarify. Do you have to move? Do you have to hire Cadden Brothers to move you to take advantage of the junk removal division?
No, definitely not. It's we're treating it as an add-on, but also a additional service that we can provide the community.
Separate from them.
Separate, yes.
Okay, good to know, because there are people that need to take advantage of junk removal service and get rid of items, like you said, to make room for other things.
Absolutely.
I was just going to ask, how do I know if I should store something or if I should get rid of it? Now, Pat, we had a discussion off air, and you said you guys do storage, but you said, what's the enemy when you're storing things?
The enemy is moisture. When you're looking at a storage facility, you want to make sure that it's leak-proof and airtight. Our if you go on our website, we store our items in wooden crates, and everything is off the ground, and there's no moisture in our facility, which prevents anything from being damaged from mildew or mold, etc. So that's one thing that has worked to our advantage over the years.
I remember my aunt passed away, and we put stuff in storage for like 10 years, and then we called you. Then we called the junk guy, because we say, why are we paying for storage on this stuff when we don't need it. Initially, when people pass away, you say, oh, I want to save this, I want to save that. But then there comes a time where things got to go.
Right. So when people downsize too, so they're coming from a 4,000 square foot house going into maybe an 1,800 square foot house, but they're not ready. There may be things that they are emotionally attached to. They're sentimental items. They don't want to get necessarily discard them. They want to store them.
Absolutely. So we came across an instance the other day. We had an elderly lady moving to a high rise as she can't go up and down at her standard house anymore. So, but by downsizing, she had a lot of stuff that she's had in her house for decades, and all this stuff was in very good condition. So just because we're junk removal doesn't mean it's necessarily junk. To a lot of these people, it's very valuable stuff. So we don't always refer to it as junk because it hurts their feelings a lot of times as well. So, for instance, this lady had plenty of dressers and bed settings and clothes, things like that, which we prefer a lot of times because it's not stuff that's going in our dumpster. It's actually going to be donated to the Friends of the Poor, Children and Youth, and multiple places like that we've teamed up with over the past month since we launched the junk division.
Good. Nice, because those organizations could use them.
Absolutely, especially this time of year.
Yeah, and I'm sure it feels good, even though they're parting with things that mean something, but they know that they're going to somebody that needs them.
Correct. Yeah, they don't like to, because they know it still has meaning to it. They don't want to see it just get tossed in a dumpster and forgot about it, where it could help somebody a lot down the road.
Pat Devaney, because we have two Pats here today. Pat Devaney.
I feel like I'm at home in Brooklyn. You know, we got a house full of Pats.
So tell me, didn't you have a situation where you were storing something in moisture? You found out the hard way that moisture was an enemy?
I have a roll of plastic floor covering. It's like a heavy mat, and it's vinyl, and it's a big heavy roll. And I had them in the corner of my basement. And you know what I found out? There's moisture in the basement. And when there's moisture, I took those things apart, and they've only been there a year or two. They were covered with mold. So moisture is the enemy. I just wanted to cover that. You know, people saying they want to store stuff. I want to save this. I want to save that. But you think you're saving stuff and you're storing it. And if
you're going to ruin it.
Yeah, if you get some moisture, you're going to be calling the junk removal guy. Yeah.
And we actually had a house last week where we did a basement, and the stuff was pretty beat up, from years of moisture, et cetera. And Corey and the team went in and did a really nice job with it.
Good.
Yeah, and on our Facebook page as well, we like to post a lot of before and after pictures. That way you can see the process that we do at these jobs as well.
And it's nice that it's good that you point out it's not junk that you're removing. You're not always removing junk. And sometimes people misunderstand that word because a lot of times we have foreclosed properties, foreclosures, and there are clean out companies, and they're truly junk removal people.
Correct. So you have your junk removal, and then you have your unwanted items removed. Try to make a difference between those because there is a difference. You know what I mean? There's plenty of houses that we've gone into so far that it is absolute junk, and the people, they don't get upset when you tell them it's junk because they know it's junk.
They know.
Yeah.
Right.
Where on the other hand, people, the unwanted items, they're just items that they don't need anymore that could benefit somebody else.
I know somebody whose house was full of stuff. And if I told them it was junk, they would get offended. That's great. That's a great point. Nobody's ever brought in before.
If someone hires Cat & Brothers to move them, but they want to reserve certain items to move themselves, that's okay, right?
Absolutely, yeah. I mean, we have, in the past several years, a cost-effective way to move has been to transport some items yourself. And that can vary from one piece to, renting a small U-Haul and taking what you can yourself and then leaving the big items for us. But then you have your individual who isn't capable or doesn't have the time of doing that, and we do the whole house. I mean, there's several variations of how it could work.
Cat & Brothers has been around since 1932?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. What's the first thing usually people underestimate when they move?
The amount of stuff in their closets and cabinets.
Okay.
For sure.
For sure. Okay. And what do you notice immediately when you walk into a home that maybe somebody else has overlooked?
We train ourselves to, when we go into estimate a job, to look at that stuff that's in the closets and the cabinets, and we do our best to visualize how many boxes are in there. So that's one thing that that's the variable that you can get incorrect the most. Is if you look at it the wrong way, you can go from having saying 10 boxes to 50 boxes, and especially if a customer says they're going to take care of something and then they don't, which happens, but it's just everything has to be transparent.
How do you know a job is going to be chaotic the moment you arrive?
You get a feel.
Yeah. It's the vibe.
The vibe.
Okay.
Yeah.
It's like the crazy housewife running around like a lunatic. That would be me. I'm not making fun of any housewives out there.
So when I'm going to move and I'm downsizing, so I could use both guys. I could use, I could use the junk removal. I could say
in conjunction with.
This is a great idea. You guys came up with a good idea.
When we move, that's what we're going to do. And they're going, and Corey's starting in the garage.
Going out feet first.
Yeah, okay.
That's what I told my wife, too.
You bring up a good point. When we did our house, because we took a 2-unit into a single, we spent a fortune. We went way over budget, and we rationalized that. Like, that's what, we tell ourselves to make ourselves feel good. We were telling ourselves, well, we're going to go out feet first. Well, the universe had other plans for us at that moment. We had wonderful neighbors, very quiet to themselves, right? And we were between two wonderful, single, older gentlemen, and then it changed.
And he went out feet first.
Yeah.
And everything changed. You can't pick your neighbors, just like you can't pick your family.
Okay. So, yeah. So anyway, let's get back to this. What do homeowners do that makes your job harder that you wish they wouldn't do? And they don't even realize it, but maybe hover?
For us, transparency is the biggest thing. If we come in and Mr. and Mrs., say that they're going to take care of, X, Y, and Z, and then the day of the move we get there and they didn't, that's our biggest hurdle. Because especially if it's a smaller job and we have something paired with it afterwards, we tell the customer that we're going to arrive within a certain 2-hour window, based off of the averages that we calculate everything on, and then you have them calling and complaining because we're late, because of the unforeseen stuff in the first job. So that's generally our biggest hurdle is transparency.
What should people never put on a moving truck?
Not that it's never, but a lot of people have it in their head that putting items in garbage bags makes it easier. It's quite the opposite, especially during the summer. The garbage bags, they're elastic, so they start to stretch, and then if they use crappy garbage bags, then they fall apart, and then their stuff's all over the place. So that's one thing that we try to stress to our customers is to use boxes, or Amazon has these really nice. They are bags, but they're zippered and they're more of a canvas material, and they're heavier duty, so that they won't fall apart in those instances.
What's better, a morning move or an afternoon move, or it doesn't make a difference?
It doesn't really make a difference, and in some instances, if you're estimated at 6+ hours, you're going to be the only job for that particular crew on that day. So it doesn't really matter. The guys prefer morning though, because it's tougher to get them motivated to go out for a single job in the afternoon.
Oh, yeah. I would say that would be difficult. Okay, Corey, we're back to Corey. Let's bounce back to Corey Boynton, manager of the junk removal division. So, you have a tricky job because you could be looking at something and you say that it's clear as a bell, this is junk. And, you have to walk a tightrope, I would think, because someone else may... The person that owns that item may not feel the same way.
Yeah, we do. Obviously, one man's junk is another man's treasure there. And so we have to try to make them feel warm and fuzzy about all their items. Know what I mean? So make everything feel special, handle it with care, just like we do on the moving side. Know what I mean? For professional movers, even the professional movers sometimes do the junk removal. That way we're protecting the asset of their house and stuff isn't getting drug around their hardwood floors and scratching it and dinging the door jambs and things like that. So
I bet when you are working in conjunction with the moving company, it makes your job a lot easier.
It does, yeah. Corey and I have had quite a few discussions about this. From the junk removal side, it makes it a lot easier when the move occurs first. One thing that we've been doing is asking the customer to label their stuff with a painter's tape. This is the move stuff, this is the junk stuff. The visualization makes it a lot easier on the guys. We take the proper items out, we move it to the new residence. A few days later, we go back, and then Corey and the guys go in and take all the remaining stuff and do what's necessary to get rid of it or find a new home for it.
You have a trained eye, so do the crew members. Did you ever mistakenly pick up a box of books, say, and do something to your back?
I remember my dad telling a story that he was on a pack job. There was a full pack for a customer moving out of town, and they said, pack everything. And they started in the kitchen and they packed all the drawers, and lo and behold, the passport was in the drawer, and now it was in box, number 2, and they had to go through the boxes and try and find it.
Oh boy!
So it's we try our best, especially now using the painter's tape as a visual prop to take what's needs to be taken, but unfortunately, sometimes transparency isn't there, and there's some miscommunication, and we take an item, but we do our best to mitigate it and to get it back to the customer, etc.
But a box of books could be just as heavy as a couch, or you could get injured, right? So if the homeowner boxed it up and it didn't say books or something, do your guys ever sustain injuries like that?
Our rule of thumb is if you can't pick it up, our guys can't pick it up. Our guys are strong, but when you're picking up 50 boxes, in a particular move, it's strenuous and there's a lot of wear and tear on your body. So that's our general rule of thumb. If you can't pick it up, don't expect my guys to pick it up.
So that's good advice. You see a lot of emotions on moving day. What's the toughest situation you ever walked into?
The divorce situations are sometimes tough because tense. There's a lot of variables there with children and so on and so forth. So generally, those are or if someone passes away, the family member, the estate, etc. Those are generally the tougher times from an emotional standpoint.
Yeah, but you've been through it, so you understand.
Yeah, we try to be personable and as best we can and help the individual through the situation.
Pat Cadden Jr., co-owner with his father, Patrick Cadden of Cadden Brothers, and Corey Boynton, manager of junk removal division at Cadden Brothers. How does someone get in touch with you, please?
You can call our local number at 570-489-4005, or you can Google us and follow the website and put in a quote request.
Very good. Thank you. Pat?
Yes, we have a 2-family home at 1112 Prescott Avenue in Dunmore for $269,000. This home has a 1-bedroom apartment on the first and second floors, and each apartment is 1,100 square feet. The whole interior has been freshly painted, and there are some hardwood floors and carpeting. Taxes are only $2,100 a year, and each unit is ready to rent, or you can live in one unit and have the rent pay the mortgage. There's also a detached 2-car garage that can be rented out for additional income. That's a duplex at 1112 Prescott Avenue in Dunmore for $269,000, and that's listed by Gloria Suma of our office.
John Ruddy Appraisal Services has been appraising homes for 50 years. Our appraisal service is for those looking to uncover the appraised value of their property. Divorce, estate, inheritance, mortgage, refinance, you name it. We do it. Look no further than John Ruddy Appraisal Services, your trusted appraisal company. We utilize the latest technology and market insights to deliver accurate and timely property valuations. Whether you're buying, selling, or just curious, John Ruddy Appraisal Services is your key to informed decisions. Contact us today at 570-344-6724 for a professional appraisal experience. John Ruddy Appraisal Services, where your property's worth is our top priority. Stick around for more Real Estate Roundtable with Century 21 Jack Ruddy Real Estate on 94.3 FM The Talker. We'll be right back. Are you ready to make your next move in the world of real estate? Look no further than Century 21 Jack Ruddy Real Estate, your trusted partner in buying and selling homes. If you're a homeowner looking to sell, Century 21 Jack Ruddy Real Estate will ensure you get the best possible price in today's competitive market. And if you're in the market to buy your dream home, Century 21 Jack Ruddy Real Estate will help you find the perfect place to call your own.
Congratulations.
We've adopted the popular saying, an educated consumer is our best customer. That's why since 2010, we've hosted the Real Estate Roundtable with Century 21 Jack Ruddy Real Estate Saturdays at 11 a.m., Sundays at 11:30 a.m. on 94.3 The Talker. Visit jruddy.com. That's JRUDDY.com or call 570-344-6724. Century 21 Jack Ruddy Real Estate, where dreams find their address. Thanks for joining the Real Estate Roundtable with Century 21 Jack Ruddy Real Estate on 94.3 FM The Talker. We're back with more from the Cadden brothers. Pat Cadden Jr., co-owner with his father, Patrick Cadden, and Corey Boynton, manager of the junk removal division. All right, gentlemen, this is it. We're coming towards the end of the show. We have a few more minutes to talk about the things that you do that you want everybody to know about. What would you like everybody to know? Realtors to know, homeowners to know, people that are moving.
Yeah, give us a call. We'll come out. We'll do a free estimate for you. We'll take a survey of all the items that you would like to move. We could do a full service pack for you. We could pack a few items. Create expensive or not expensive items, but fragile items. We could store items for you and move you local or long distance. We can we're a one-stop shop as far as the moving services are concerned.
Have you ever moved something that, don't name names or give us addresses, but what's the weirdest thing that you've ever moved? Do you have anything that sticks out?
There was a property several years ago that was a residence, but you would swear to God that it was belonged in the Vatican, the way that it was set up, and the artifacts and the decor, etc. That was really interesting move. Yeah. Mm-hmm. And a lot of the stuff ended up going for auction once it came out of our storage. But that was, I remember that vividly being very unique. Different.
Yeah. So not so much weird, but different.
Yeah. Different.
Yeah, something that you don't see every day.
Yeah, correct.
Yeah. Okay. Do you have any horror stories you'd like to share?
Not necessarily. I think the one thing that we just stress is to prevent any type of horror story.
Okay.
Just
we could do that.
Be prepared. Just ask questions. Be transparent. Read through what is expected of yourself and us.
Yeah, and I would say to anybody out there that's looking to sell their home in 2026, call the movers even before you call a realtor, because you want to get an idea and a sense of timing, what you want to move, what you don't want to move. It's never too early if you're planning on moving.
Yeah.
They shouldn't call you if they're going to move in 2029, but obviously if it's in the cards this year.
Yeah, you can make a plan. That's pretty much what you're looking to do is, we want to move these items, we want to get rid of these items, which our new junk division can help out with. Or we may need storage, and obviously we can accommodate that as well. So there's a lot. It's a multifaceted plan.
So Corey, you had mentioned about your charitable organizations. Do you do anything other than that in terms of saving it before it goes to the junkyard?
We try to recycle as much as we can too. You know what I mean? Electronics and metals and things like that. Obviously, we want to throw as least amount away as possible, so we're trying to recycle it, donate it. Any other avenues we can get try to get rid of stuff rather than just throwing it in a dumpster.
Okay. And that's great because there's a lot of people that repurpose and use things like old TV sets that used to be in the big cabinets. Then they do things with that. People that are crafty.
Absolutely.
All right.
There's no job that's too big or too small. We'll go out for a single pickup for just a love seat or a bed, box spring mattress, or if we're doing.
Will you? I got a few things in my house. Maybe when my wife's at work, I'm going to get in trouble here. I'm getting this look of death.
My plants. He hates my plants.
Do you take plants? They take everything.
If it's junk to you, it's junk to us.
All right.
But like I said, no job too big or too small. So we could do a full house clean out, an estate clean out, or like I said, just a small clean out, like a love seat, couch, mattress, bed, things like that.
That's good to know because there are places that won't touch it unless there's a volume.
Right.
Yeah. And like you said, you don't know till you ask. Know what I mean? So give us a call. We'll come out, do an estimate for free, of course, and go from there.
All right. That's good to know. But I was going to, do you move things from, so they're not moving out of a property, but they want to give their aunt, their brother, so would you move pieces from one property to another?
Yeah, actually, coincidentally, on Friday, we have a move scheduled that has a 4-stop move, and it all goes to one destination. In as far back as a few months ago, we had something similar. Someone passed away, and they divvied it up amongst the family. Some of it went out of state, some of it stayed local, some of it we threw away. I mean, there's a bunch of different ways that we can facilitate a move.
And do you at your storage facility? Do you ever have to worry about abandoned items?
We do. We're fortunate where we don't get that a lot. But in the event that we do, unfortunately, we got to go through the proper processes of going to the magistrate and all that stuff.
A lot of red tape?
A little bit, yeah. I mean, there's certain processes we have to go through to make it, visible to the public, et cetera. You get, Johnny or Susie who just doesn't want it anymore, and they just, write us an email and sign it over to us. That's not ideal either, but I mean, it is what it is.
Is that show still on? I was thinking about, as you guys are talking, that show.
The Storage Wars?
Yes.
Yeah.
Is it still on?
I don't know. I've seen it.
I don't know. That was fascinating, wasn't it?
We do find some interesting things from time to time. Truthfully, a lot of it's just junk.
Okay.
We've had some stuff where, we had a warehouse sale and it went, quickly, but then you get other stuff and it's just a random old dresser and not visually appealing, and it sits there for 3 sales. It just it's there's no rhyme or reason to it.
Okay. Yeah, I'm sure you come across some very interesting things.
Yeah, for sure.
With us today, Pat Cadden Jr., co-owner of Cadden Brothers with his dad, Patrick Cadden, and Corey Boynton, manager of junk removal division at Cadden Brothers. How does someone get in touch with you, please?
Call our local number, 570-489-4005, or Google us, find us on the website, and submit a quote request.
Okay. And usually call you early before you get booked up. In the spring and the summer, you're booked 2 to 6 weeks out.
Yeah. Make a plan, inquire about our services early. And then this way you have a starting point and you can get booked as soon as you can pull the trigger to do so.
All right. Thank you, gentlemen, for coming in for 2 weeks. We appreciate your time.
Yeah, no problem. We appreciate you having us.
Thank you. Pat?
Yes, this is my favorite home of all the ones I've been doing. It's a 5-bedroom, 4-bath home. It's a farmhouse located on 21 acres of its picturesque countryside. It's 76 Rundle Lane in German for $459,000. This is a beautifully maintained 1920s farmhouse. It's got character and all the modern updates. It's got amazing views, pastures, and it's got it's got a huge barn that was designed for the equestrian. If you got horses, because it's got stalls, it's got a hayloft, plenty of storage space for your cars or equipment. The house has an amazing first floor. It's got a master suite. It's got room for an in-law suite, radiant heat, fireplace, an amazing kitchen. It's just too much. Just if you go to jruddy.com, look at 76 Rundle Lane in German. That's the house to look at. It's $459,000. It's 5 bedrooms and 4 baths on 21 acres. and it's listed by Kimberly Pizzanti of our office.
That's all for today. Thanks for joining the Real Estate Roundtable with Century 21 Jack Ready Real Estate. Remember to tune in next Saturday at 11 a.m., Sunday at 11:30 a.m. on 94.3 The Talker.